Welcome back to the channel. Today is actually a massive update for MONGIL, Stardive, because we officially have a brand new 5 character, a full lineup of events lasting an entire month, and even free keys being distributed to all players. So in this video, I'll break down everything from the new character to each individual event so you can plan your farming as efficiently as possible. No more delay, let's get started. First, the main highlight of this update, Mina, the fate-touched nine-tailed fox. Just hearing the name already tells you this character has deep lore. Mina is a divine maiden of fate, and according to the in-game story, she inherited this role from her mother, Miho, who was the previous divine maiden. I think this is one of the more interesting lore setups in the game, with a clear generational legacy and strong character depth. And with the title Nine-Tailed Fox, I'm sure anyone who loves the fox spirit archetype in Asian games will be really hyped for this character. If you want more details about Mina's kit, you should check the official character introduction because I don't want to get any of her skill numbers wrong. But overall, this is a full 5-5 event unit, heavily supported with many compass packs and a guaranteed artifact pack. So I expect this to be one of the most worthwhile banners in this patch. If you want, I can review her in another video. Now moving on to Monsterling improvements. This is something I've been waiting for a long time. They added a trait grade filter, so you can sort and view Monsterlings based on their grade. It may sound small, but when you have a huge number of Monsterlings in your inventory, this filter saves a lot of time. More importantly, they also added a filter in the Monsterling upgrade screen, making it easier to identify the exact one you want to enhance. I used to make mistakes enhancing the wrong one because the list was too long, so this improvement is a really valuable quality of life change. In addition, they added an event story skip feature, another QOL feature the community has been asking for quite a while. If you've been playing for some time and just want to farm quickly, skipping the story will save you a lot of time. Another system improvement I find quite practical is that salvaging 5 equipment now gives 2 conquest boss materials. This is a small but meaningful buff since conquest boss materials aren't always easy to farm, so every 5-5 salvage now has more value. They also improved the character modeling of Flare and refined the stat descriptions in the detailed stats section. I haven't checked these in detail yet, but overall, it's a solid polish for the game. Now moving on to the Dimensional Rift season change. This is something you should note right away. The current season, Sword of Utmost Hospitality, will end on May 5th, 2 at 23:59 UTC. The new season will start on May 6th at 00 UTC and run until May 26th, 2 at 23:59 UTC. The important thing is that when the new season begins, the 3 weekly free Rift entry tickets will be recharged, so I highly recommend using all your free tickets before the current season ends to avoid wasting them. Bonus characters and elements in the Dimensional Rift will also change for the new season, so if you're planning your team composition, make sure to pay attention to these changes. Now we're getting into the part that most people are probably the most excited about, the 6 events in this patch. I'll break down each one. Event 1 is the Flame That Takes What Lingers. This is the main event of the patch, tied directly to Mina's story. The event stage will be available from after today's maintenance until May 26 to 23:59 UTC, while the shop, story, and missions will last a bit longer until June 2nd, 23:59 UTC. The mechanics are pretty standard. You complete normal and challenge missions to earn Mystical Fox Talisman Tokens, then clear event stages to earn more tokens and adventure level EXP. After that, you use tokens to exchange items in the shop. Main rewards include 2 Mina animated backgrounds, Mina badge, Compass of Promise, Compass of Destiny, Compass of Memory, and power-up materials. The animated backgrounds are usually exclusive cosmetics, so if you like Mina, this is definitely an event you shouldn't skip. Event 2 is Nine-Tailed Fox Divine Spirit's Special Gift. This one is simpler. It also runs from after maintenance until May 26th to 23:59 UTC. Every time you obtain Mina, you'll receive a Compass of Memory as a support bonus. This is a really nice incentive to pull on Mina's banner, because every time you get her, even duplicates, you gain extra Compass of Memory, helping you save a significant amount of resources. Event 3 is Anomaly Avardan Mana. This event has its own timeline and starts later, from May 13th WED to May 26th to 2359 UTC. The mechanic is that you can capture Avardan's mutation, and each day you can accept one emergency conquest request. The reset time is 0 UTC. If you use an Avardan Mana Monsterling in Monster Race, you'll receive a participation bonus. Rewards include Starlight Crystal, Chord of Fate, and Perfect Growth Chow. All solid, especially since Starlight Crystal is always a highly farmed resource. Event 4 is May Special Missions, running from May 4th, Mon 2, to May 19th to 2359 UTC. This is a pure mission-based event where you complete missions to earn rewards. Highlights include a 4-starter selector, premium salmon puree, and power-up materials. The 4-starter selector is especially interesting for players building their roster, since you can choose the character you want instead of getting a random one. Event 5 is an invitation to break the ice. This is the final event in the lineup, running for a shorter period from May 20th WED to May 26th to 2359 UTC. It's also mission-based, where you complete missions and receive rewards based on milestones. Rewards include Compass of Memory, Starlight Crystal, and power-up materials. This event feels like a preparation event for upcoming content. The name Break the Ice sounds quite suggestive, but I won't speculate here. Event 6 is Kumiho Mina's 7-day gift. This is my favorite because it's free and requires almost no effort. It runs from May 13 WED to May 26, 2359 UTC. You just need to log in during the event period to receive the Day 1 reward, and then rewards will be granted automatically based on the number of days passed since your first login. Reset time is 0 UTC. I'll list all rewards for you. Day 1 is Compass of Destiny, X1. Day 2 is Key X100. Day 3 is Compass of Promise X1. Day 4 is Compass of Destiny X1. Day 5 is Key X100. Day 6 is Compass of Promise X1. And Day 7 is Compass of Memory X2. In total, you'll get 2 Compass of Destiny, 2 Key X100, 2 Compass of Promise, and 2 Compass of Memory just by logging in. This is a very valuable set of free resources that you definitely shouldn't miss. Now moving on to bug fixes. I'll quickly go over the most important ones. First, the fix for crashes when using a gamepad on PC. If you play on PC with a controller, this should resolve a pretty annoying issue. Crashes during cutscenes and crashes caused by insufficient memory have also been addressed in this update. One fix I think is important for many players is the visual bug in equipment enhancement. Previously, the substat enhancement rate was displayed incorrectly, but they confirmed that the actual applied values were correct. It was only a display error. There's also a fix for Nyanner's EXP not increasing when obtaining Monsterlings in certain situations, and notably, they will distribute the missing EXP to affected players based on cumulative capture count after the update. I really appreciate this because they not only fixed the bug, but also compensated affected players. Another change is related to Black membership. The benefit period will now end at the daily reset time of 000 UTC instead of the previous calculation method. This applies to Black membership purchased or renewed after today's update, so keep this in mind when planning your subscription. Finally, the part many of you are probably most concerned about, the follow-up measures for the bonus time event issue. This was one of the first times the game held a bonus time event, and there were some issues. The developers acknowledged shortcomings in organizing the event for the first time and apologized for the inconvenience caused. As compensation, 500 keys will be distributed via mailbox to all divers. The claiming period is from after today's maintenance until May 6, WED 1459 UTC, so make sure to claim it before the deadline. One important note, they investigated and identified 14,001 players who used auto-clear in dungeons during the issue period. Players with abnormal data have received individual warnings, and those players will not be eligible to receive the key rewards. This is a clear reminder from the developers that they monitor abnormal activity and will take further measures if violations happen again. To sum up, This is a very substantial patch for Mongil, Stardive. You have Mina as a new 5/5 Fox Maiden with interesting lore, quality of life improvements for the Monsterling system, 6 consecutive events throughout May, 500 free keys from compensation, and a series of necessary bug fixes. The main priorities I want you to focus on are: claim the 500 keys before May 6, start farming Mystical Fox Talisman Tokens early so you don't miss Mina's exclusive cosmetics, and set a reminder to log in for the 7-day gift event starting May 13th. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so I can continue making this kind of analysis content. See you in the next video.